So, no one's still on, but I'm gonna get kind of started anyways since it's about 10 minutes after I said I was gonna start. Sorry that the first 10 minutes just completely sucks and is stupid. But yeah, that is kind of what I am going to do. So, hey guys, DC13 here, and tonight I was going to kind of do a little live stream of a few things I've been kind of seeing around here and there. First thing is kind of what I am using as my current daily driver phone. My kind of next thing is the actual V20 Rom. What am I doing with it? What is it going to go to? Why do I do the ROMs that I do? What the difference is between the released version and a weekly, because I'm going to start probably doing some more weeklies. If not, I'm going to possibly call them bi-monthlies, just so I'm not on an actual weekly basis, because that's going to be a little time consuming. And I'm going to also kind of go into detail, or a little detail, on my workflow. What is it doing? Kind of how I do everything. Also, one thing that I ran into this week, and I'm going to explain what I found this week, with an LG kind of weird file. And then if you guys are actually still on, or if there are people that are on, then I'm going to do a kind of a little Q&A. So, I guess kind of I'll get into what am I currently using, and I am actually currently using a ZTE Z832. This is probably one of the lowest end phones that you can ever purchase. I mean, it has a Qualcomm like 210, I think it is. It only has a gig of RAM, so when you try to do multitasking, if you try to do navigation, Facebook, and you actually load it with a lot of different things, that is not going to be kind of your deal. You're going to have a lot of lag. But overall, the phone is actually pretty cool if you just use it as a phone. You can still do some minimal, like Facebooking. You can do minimal, like Google Maps and things like that. However, just know it is a lower end phone. It's not going to be quick. It is definitely going to have some issues. But for me, there are a few good positives on this. And the first thing is on this is the battery life on it. I can go essentially, and actually that is what I'm going to kind of do. So if you guys feel a little jerkiness, I am actually going to plug this phone. Sorry about that. That was weird. So plugged in my phone and it was asking for debug information, and yeah, sorry about that. So with this, the battery on this thing is amazing. Now, lately I have been strictly just using this for all of my internet. For my internet here at home, it is tethered over onto my wireless router, and then that broadcasts all my stuff. And that's what I use. I don't have an actual internet connection. This is what I am live streaming off of. I just have all of my servers downstairs and stuff like that, fully, essentially locked to just local internet stuff. But the battery on this thing is amazing. I can go, on average, about an entire day and still have about 20 to 40% battery life. That is with tethering, going over to my V20, and then also actually on my S7 Edge that I'm currently filming on this. Both of those are doing not only like my debit card things, because I use Samsung Pay for all of my stuff, so that goes through all of that. The other thing that this phone does is this is my pretty much work phone. So all of my emails from every business account that I have work, everything, all goes through my V20, and essentially that's both of those phones doing all of that. The only thing that I have disabled on this is actual sync, because I really did not think that I need to have my emails show up on this while they're also showing up on this. Mainly, my first main reason for doing that is because if I have syncing going on, it already has a weird delay. If someone was to send me a text message or someone calls me, the screen will wake up, it'll stay like this for a while, and then it'll actually show me that someone's either calling me or something to that nature. It does not just do it right then and there. But beyond that, it's still a sub $150 phone. You really cannot go wrong with that. So I'm not too worried about it. I do think that this phone is actually not that bad of a phone. It is great for kids, is what I would kind of think. Grandparents that are just trying to get into an entry-level phone that still want a good battery life. Because the other thing that I've been doing with this is this actually tracks all of my health stuff. So I have like my Gear Fit 2 or my Pebble and things like that, and this will actually track all of my information that way. So I don't have to do much beyond just kind of enjoying things. So that's always one nice thing about this. And that's kind of one thing I've liked about it. And beyond that, battery life is straight up amazing still. That's one of my only things that keep making everything better, because this obviously is not a high-end phone, so you get annoyed with it very, very, very easily. So me doing it like this, it kind of fixes that. But beyond that, I like this phone. It actually works. I do miss like my Nexus 5. I do. If I wasn't doing so much development on this would be my daily driver right this second, but I am flashing it way too much. Same thing with my Samsung. I'm working on a few things like that to get that a little working. So I'm a little busy with those. So I can't use these as my dailies. But beyond that, this is a great phone. I would even say that this would be a great backup phone if you were on like AT&T or Cricket or something like that. The ZTE Z832, it might be the lowest end phone that you're ever going to have, but it's still going to be a great backup phone. I really can't wait for the Nokia 6 and the 3310 to get released. I'm already going to buy both of those, hopefully in the next couple of months, and yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. So, what is up with the V20 Rom? And I know normally I will have like at least 3 or 4 kind of videos, or not videos, but updates a month, if not more. But lately I've just been completely bogged down with a lot of different things. So I completely, for 3 times, apologized for not doing such a quick updates. However, that's why I'm doing the weekly releases. And I'll get back to that in a few moments, but what this ROM is all about is performance and stability. This phone is great. Granted, it has a few of its quirks. I would totally love being able to use it right this second to do this live video, just because I want to make this phone perfect, but unfortunately they don't have a few of those kind of things. That is where I'm liking the Samsung. The other thing that I really like about the Samsung is if you were to press the shutter button on the Samsungs, it works, and it works instantly. Where if you actually try to do it on this, I mean, I'll even do a little thing. So I'll take a picture of me. Oh, there it goes. Oh, there it goes again. Oh, and there it goes. Where if we're on our S7 Edge or something, it's just bam, bam, bam. So I've been working on that. And so far I've already gotten it pretty dialed down. Right this second I switched back over to version 1.00 because I'm going to do a little high-speed test where I'm going to film it at like 120 frames a second, take the picture, count, and then switch over onto the new version, take a picture, count how long, and then give you guys an actual real data kind of information on it. So that's what I'm working on right this second, and that's where these weeklies are going to come in hand. However, these weekly ROMs, I guess I can get into that in a few moments also. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Plus, the other cool features about the 1.0 before, like Oculus and Samsung did their updates, Pixel did its updates and stuff like that. With Google, the virtual reality stuff that I was getting working is now no longer working. And that's kind of a bummer for me because it was kind of a little cool little thing where I plugged this into my Gear VR and it just worked. So that is kind of one bad drawback about this, is that I can't get working, and I'm trying super hard to get it to work. And what just happened is another one of my quirks that I don't like. That top screen. I love pressing that button no matter where I am. And it's always kind of funny, actually. But, oh well. So, let's go into detail between the differences on the release side of things and the weekly versions. So a lot of people have been asking what's kind of the differences, and this is kind of what it is. The releases are the straight up 110% ready to go, out of the box, perfect ROM for stability wise. The weeklies, though, they can have force closes, they can have other different things, and they probably will. So they are not meant to be daily drivers. They're definitely going to be missing things. You could have missing weather widgets, you could have missing apps that were supposed to be on there that aren't, and I'll go into detail on why that is when I start actually talking about my optimization kind of things. But that is kind of what it is. So it's not going to be 110%, and they're just not going to be perfect. So that's kind of one of the main differences between the releases and stuff. The weeklies also are more type of ROMs that I actually use personally. The release ones, those I already have used. Other people have been using, especially like based on the weeklies. So everyone's already using it. Everyone's kind of used to it. The weeklies are more what I use personally, because it's going to have all the latest optimizations. It's going to have the latest tweaks of what I've been doing and things like that. So that's kind of what the release kind of parts will be between the release. And also the releases, they could go beyond like 1 or 2 months. I'm going to try to stay every month will be an actual release, but I can't guarantee that. So just know, if you want the latest version, do the weeklies. Just know there are going to be issues. And that's just kind of how it is. I'm trying to get those kind of things. Once I get most of the bugs done, then I'll do the releases or something. But beyond that, that is kind of it. So let me go into detail, or a little minor details, of what I use for the optimizations. The other camera. And let's see. So I have kind of that, and then I have my Google Keep giving me my notes, and I have a bunch of stuff getting transferred. So, let me give you guys kind of a little walkthrough of what I may or may not do. And actually, I'm going to do another one. of this, you guys now get to see exactly what my computer looks like. I'm going to kind of block some of that. And let's go over to the weekly, since that was just actually released this morning, is when I got it finished dating or uploading onto the Google Drive. Again, so I apologize for that. But let me give you guys kind of an example of what I guess I can kind of start on weekly 1AB or something like that. I can't remember exactly. I think I named it or numbered it number 1 at the end. Hopefully I did. But let's go into a few things. Let me go look for a file that I kind of want. Let's see. Actually, let's go into the settings, because usually this is a decent sized file. So settings roughly is about 17 megs. And what I will actually go and do is I will extract the whole thing. And I'm not going into debugging and decrypting like all of the XML files or anything like that. I am just looking mainly for the ping files. And that's all that I care about, because everything that you do on your phone is all done through pings. It doesn't matter what pings, JPEGs, GIFs, and stuff like that. So if you compress all of those, you're going to start saving yourself a lot of storage. So, for example, I'll go through, I will clean up a few files that are going around. So, obviously I don't need to go and compress like the XML files and stuff like that. Let's see. There, I will remove a couple of thousand files. And really all that I am caring about are like OGG files, MP3s, text files, DEX files, anything that is like video, photo, audio related. That is what I'm kind of looking for. So like this MP4, the pings. However, if you have never done any theming whatsoever, you will know that you cannot touch these .9 ping files. If you touch them or do anything with them without using the actual appropriate program, you know that you are pretty much hosed, and you're not going to be doing much. Actually, I can move that over there also, now that I am done. Alright, so now I have pretty much gotten all of the assets, my res files for like all of what everything's going to kind of look like, and that's kind of what I am going to now start modifying. There's a great program if you use Windows. Yeah, File Optimizer. With Mac, I think it was like OptiPing, I think it is. And those are kind of your two go-to programs if you ever try this. Now, this breaks applications. That's why I'm saying that when you play around with the weekly, you're going to get forced closes. That's because of this program. Some apps don't like you touching any of the files, and it will throw errors like no other. Usually, I'm going to say about 9 out of 10 times, your settings file does all of this. It's kind of funny, but it works. Or it doesn't work all the time, which is unfortunate because this program can do a whole lot of everything. So, if we click Optimize, and we start letting it do its thing, instantly, let's say this one has now already shrunk down to 8% of what it was originally. So that's kind of what this program will do. It'll go and do a lossless kind of render of everything. It'll use like ping optimizer, ping wolf, different kind of programs to compress every file. It doesn't matter if it's a ping, if it's JPEG, MP3, it even works with the XMLs and stuff like that. This program is straight up amazing. And I use this all the time. So that is kind of one of them. And then once I get all of them in, I will go back through like 7-zip or something like that. I'll open up my archive and then go into all of these, select it, copy them down, and bam, there's all of my rendered files. And you'll actually even be able to watch like the res size and stuff like that. It'll get shrunk down to however much it's already lost, and it works great. So that's kind of what I usually will do, and kind of just go from. Now, pretty much one of the weird little things I saw last week when I was going through everything was under our lock screen kind of information. Now, this, I don't know exactly what this is all about, but it's still there, and it's kind of weird. Simple password dictionary. You can actually use any of these. It doesn't throw up any errors or anything like that, so I'm not exactly sure why this file is here. I haven't started looking into it yet. It's just weird because of the adult language that's on this. I don't know if someone from LG wrote this or what, but this is definitely not a password dictionary that I would have put in a phone ROM if I was gonna do if I was trying to do something for security wise. First thing that I have noticed, and I'm sorry about the words, but this is a female genital. Sexual positions. And it starts going into cuss words, using like the F word, and things like that. It's weird. Like, why would you allow someone to say any of this? Because, I mean, it'll even say, like, the word fucker. I mean, it's pretty crazy on all of this kind of stupid stuff that they allowed someone to do. I've hit up LG a couple of times, tagging them in, like, Twitter and stuff. Not sure why they have this, but yeah, it's a little weird. I'm not gonna lie. It is definitely pretty weird. But yeah, I don't know why they would be putting words that say like fuck you, fuck me, and weird things like that. Especially in this file specifically is the LG lock screen setting underscore or under line 2. It's weird. Like, I don't understand why they did this and why they didn't. But whatever. Yeah, it has been kind of it. So hopefully you guys kind of now have a little bit more of an idea of the ROM and where it's going, what I am actually trying to do with it. I am definitely going to be looking into this because if you go into the assets, it's definitely there. I don't know why they have it. It'd be interesting to know why LG has this thing going, but hey, that's on LG, that's not on us. So hopefully that kind of gives you guys a little bit more of an insight to what's going on. Now, I will show you guys kind of this, since it's been running for a few minutes now, just how slow this is, or this process. Now, if you guys have never dug into a ROM or anything like that, on average, there is about 400 plus thousand different pings, JPEGs, and all that different things. Sometimes even more. One of the ROMs that I've seen on the Note 7 was a little over 4 million pings. Now, with doing what it does about 7 different programs to compress. So, you multiply the 4 million, or like on the V20 there's about 500,000. There's about 500,000 files. You multiply that by 7 times, and that's how many times, nearly 3.5 million times, that it has to compress all of these files. I am on a overclocked 3770K. It's water cooled. Let's see if I can actually pop up this. So right this second, I'm just running at 406, so it just has a mild overclock on it, and that's essentially what I am always doing. The good thing about that program is I can run multiple instances of it. So for instance, on this computer itself, I would run roughly about 3 of these at the time, and it maxes out my processor without actually maxing out like the hard drive of what it has to do and stuff like that. So if you are going to do something to that nature, yeah, definitely make sure that you have a fast computer. When I was talking and I posted in the XDA forum saying how many weeks that it takes, on a dual Xeon build, it was taking roughly about 2 weeks to compress the first version of the V20 Rom. 2 weeks. That was dual, essentially 12 core processors, and I am now just down to an i7. So I'm going to be a little bit slower, and that's also another reason why I was doing the weeklies, because instead of just doing a bunch of these tweaks all up front like I normally do, this one I actually get to kind of just do little step-by-steps. So when this gets done, I can kind of press everything over, make a new zip, and bam, I just shrunk some size. So that is kind of one nice thing about doing this. Plus, if there is something wrong with the phone, now I'm not having to dig through like 50 million different force closes. I just have to deal with a couple, since I only, since I think it took, let's see, I know I started, so let's see, I want to go over to, I think it was like the 2nd or 3rd. Nope, it was the 2nd. So this is the day that I started doing my last essential, or no, that one, as soon as I, let's see, it wasn't the 2nd, it was the 6th. So the 6th is when I actually was able to start uploading the ROM and things like that. Now, when I started this, I started doing a few more things. I started actually building a weekly ROM, since that's when I decided to do it. And it took until last night to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 applications. I allowed it to redo the LG camera app, the alarm clock, the 360 wallpaper, the 360 video wallpaper, the big launcher of the LG main launcher, the main application, Music 2 for LG, signature wallpaper, and that lock screen. And that's where I actually found the simple password dictionary, which was super weird. So it took nearly 3 days to do just 8 applications. Now, if you actually go through how many applications there really are, you're going to kind of be a little surprised. So, you go over here. There's 85 applications, so that's 30 days. And then you have 154 applications. Now, that the applications that I first have done so far are the big applications, and the ones that are always going to be running usually. I haven't gone into like the stock Velvet app or kind of the Google Play Store or anything like that. I haven't done any of those. Normally, I do try to do updated versions of those, though, because why release something that has an old version? Granted, back in the old Moment days, that's what I used to do, because then I would actually do the old versions because they were smaller and stuff like that. But nowadays, I just kind of go along with the ride. Because our ROM size nowadays, you're having 32 or 64 gigs of storage. A few megabytes here and there is not going to be bad, especially when I'm already going to be decreasing the size with other applications. So that is kind of what that does. I'm actually going to do another quick little instance of this, because I think I'm going to do this file also, which is the setup wizard. Because if I do this program only runs once, and it will save all of us some storage space. Granted, not a whole lot it doesn't look like, but it is still going to be there. So we'll go there. Make sure that we get all of the 9ping files. That's over 250 of them. Go back, and let's open this up and start compressing. So this file only has 237 pings, JPEGs, music files, or whatever, and that's it. Where the other application, which I can't remember exactly, the LG Settings app, so your settings application, that has 822 files that I'm going to be compressing. So some of these days, or some of these apps only take a few minutes, some of them can take a very long time. So that is kind of one drawback about this, but beyond that, it's still going to be nice. It'll still work great, and you won't really have to worry too much about it. At least, hopefully. So, hopefully you guys kind of get the experience of kind of what I do with my ROMs, how I make them, and different things like that. Hopefully this will answer a few of your questions on how I do my ROMs, what the differences between them are going to be and are, and kind of where everything is standing. Hopefully we're going to get more than 1,000 subscribers here shortly. If you guys can keep getting more and more people to subscribe, I think we're almost at 30, which is pretty cool. I think actually once we hit 500, I'm gonna do a single VR setup kind of giveaway, and I'll kind of do that once we get 500 users, just because you guys are kind of the first amount of people. You guys deserve the best chance, so I'm probably gonna do some VR stuff once we hit 500, and then we will do the one VR giveaway per 1,000 people, up to 6,000 people. So hopefully you guys are going to kind of get excited on that. I know I kind of am. And yeah, hopefully this live stream works. Sorry that it isn't such cruddy quality. Hopefully you guys kind of don't worry too much about that. And if you guys have any questions or comments or anything, definitely drop a comment in the ROM or in the kind of video, and go from there. So hopefully you guys have a great night. I definitely know I am. And yeah, have a great night, guys. I will talk to you later. Don't forget, subscribe, like if you guys like this, dislike it if you guys dislike it. If you do dislike it though, please give me a reason why. Don't just instantly hate it. So,